goodness. I'm going to give a little bit of time, see if anybody wants to come in. This was supposed to be done yesterday. It's getting done today because my life is a little bit crazy right now. I have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I just was not able to get to this yesterday. But if you don't know, this is my podcast, Run It Back, all just music industry news from the past week. And with that being said, I'm going to just get right into it. I don't want to make this too long of an episode. But with that being said, let's get into it. I don't have much new music for you guys. I just wanted to let you know that Glitch and the X2 did partner on an EP release, so definitely go check that out. I just wanted to give them a little bit of shine. I've been seeing them work really hard on it, and with the promotion and just the recording, the release of it in general. So definitely go check them out. Go check that EP out, and let me know how you guys feel about it. Next up, we have my likes. So if you haven't watched this before, this is just headlines and stuff that I found that I enjoy that doesn't necessarily pertain to the existing categories within this podcast. So Jack Antonoff won the Grammy Award for Producer of the Year. Classical music aside, it was his first win and third consecutive nomination in the category. Given the importance the U.S. music industry attaches to big hits at these awards, it couldn't logically have gone to anyone else. Antonoff produced the songs Gold Rush in 2021 for Taylor Swift, Chemtrails Over the Country Club by Lana Del Rey, Daddy's Home by St. Vincent, Solar Power by Lorde, Sling by Clairo, and Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Nights by his own group, The Bleachers. This was an interesting headline and an interesting story for the main part that this is not a known person. He is not famous. He is not an influencer or a celebrity of any kind. And I just wanted to hone in on the fact that a lot of Grammy winners are that way, especially when you work behind the scenes as a producer, as a manager, as an administrative assistant, as anyone in that realm who is not necessarily the artist or the star of the show. You are very often, not going to have a lot of eyes on you, which is something that some people want and something that, some people want to stay away from. But I definitely want it to just be known, and I'll hone in on this a little bit further of this kind of concept. You don't have to be an artist to be in the music industry and to do well at all. There are so many jobs. There are so many opportunities out here. For people that don't necessarily want to be in the limelight, because let's be real, not everyone does. And even a lot of the people who don't realize that they actually cannot handle it. This is the artist life, the superstar life is not for everyone. It takes a lot of mental toughness. It takes a lot of hard work. And you have to be a very specific kind of person to, make it work. Truthfully. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, you can be successful and you can do well in this industry without being an artist. So if you want to be in this industry, and this is not for me to say, have a plan B or anything like that, but look into the different jobs that there are in the industry that you could already either do or that you could build your skill set in order to do, just so that you have options, you know what I mean? And that they're realistic. Yeah. Moving on, Billboard reports that the top global music publisher has partnered with the 100%ers, a music creative advocacy nonprofit, to financially support U.S. songwriters, composers, producers, etc., and donating $100,000 for relief grants. So this has to do with COVID. This has to do with poverty in general. This is something that is more normal in other countries, different relief funds for the arts, which isn't something that we see a lot in the U.S. So I was just excited to see this, and definitely do more research on it if you're so inclined to. As per usual, all the links for the larger stories about anything that I'm talking about is in my Instagram bio, or the link in my description if you're watching on YouTube. Next up, 5 different ways to prepare for your first gig. I thought this was a cool little tidbit to put in for anyone who would be interested. Know who you are as an artist. So this is all about branding and artist development. Know who you are, know what your sound is, know what your values are, and know, what you're looking to bring to the stage, what you're looking to bring to your audience. You don't want to go up there and not know any of these things. They're very, very important. You want to rehearse. I know plenty of people, especially in the scene that I'm in within the Orlando, Florida scene, who don't rehearse any of their shit, in any capacity, whether it be for an open mic, whether it be for a showcase, whether it be whatever it is. They don't rehearse their stuff, and they don't practice either. This is a huge thing. You should be practicing every day if this is something that you want to do for your career. If you're a vocalist, you should be warming up every day. You should be trying new things. You should invest in vocal lessons. If you really want to be that guy, be that girl, take some dancing classes. Make sure you're in the gym. Like, you need to be rehearsing and working on your stamina in every capacity that you possibly can when it comes to performance. I really wanted to hone in on that because you can be talented all you want. If you're not rehearsing and you're not practicing your craft, there's an issue. There's always more to go. There's always better to do. So you have to work for that. The next thing is shoot a quality live video. So this could be a couple of different things. Let's say you're heading out to an open mic before you have a showcase, before you have your own show. Make sure you have a camera person with you. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a camera person. Make sure you have someone with a camera who's getting show footage of you that you can promote with, that you can put on your EPK, that you can put on your website, any of those different things, especially that EPK. I'm seeing more and more of the fact that people either don't know what an EPK is or don't have one, and they're at the height that they really should. If someone ever comes to you about a performance opportunity, or you want to send press releases, you want to talk to a promoter about helping you get on a roster for something, the first thing that they're going to want to see is your EPK. So when it comes to statistics, when it comes to your social media, when it comes to videos, when it comes to just photos of you, any of these things, these are super important things to have on your EPK. So show footage is one of those super important things. It's going to show how you interact with the audience, how you perform in general. It's going to show how many people you can get into a crowd, and how those people in the crowd interact with you, how much they really give a fuck about what you're doing on stage. But it's also great promotional content, 100%, for whatever show that you're doing, or if you just want to, showcase what you have going on in the department of performance in general. So the next thing is think about where you'll be welcome. So this has a lot to do with the genre of music and your branding. If you are a Cochise-esque type person, you may not want to go to an underground rock type venue because they most likely are not going to fill your vibe. You know what I mean? You want to perform in places where you know that people are going to appreciate what you're going to bring. You want to perform with people that you know that their audiences are going to appreciate what you have to do so that you can convert those fans. Performing at places where the audiences don't match up is not really helpful for you in any other way than just getting experience within performing. And the last thing is keeping your email pitches short. So this has to do with when you're pitching to venues, when you're pitching to promoters, when you're talking to these people who you want to open for and things like that. Make it short and sweet, and this goes back to having your EPK ready. Making sure that you're at least working on your website so that you can say, hey, I'm working on this right now, but here's my EPK. Once I'm ready, I'll send this over to you. You want to have all of these things in order just so that all they have to do is quickly glance over the email and decide yes or no. They don't want to read an essay from you about why you want to be on this and how much you care. You can put a blurb or two about those things, but they should, like I said, be able to very easily skim over the email and kind of make the decision, do we want to work with them or not, and then proceed, in whichever fashion that they choose. Moving on to the next session, we have some industry updates. So Danny Sawyer has joined as the new director of Universal Music Publishing Group. TMZ Hip Hop is debuting soon, and it's going to bring you some fresh new takes on the hottest stories about the biggest celebs in the genre, from Bay to Ye, and everyone in between. They'll be covering all the hookups, parties, dramas, collabs, beef, and much more. So TMZ Hip Hop is essentially a TV show that's going to be coming out soon, of course, produced by TMZ. That's just about the genre of hip hop and the history of hip hop and the pop culture of hip hop, all that kind of cool stuff. Next, we have the Music Business Academy for Africa is back for its second edition with a training program geared towards developing the next generation of music executives in Africa. Amazon has recently announced that it's increasing the price of its two prices of 2 of its streaming service plans in multiple markets on May 5th. This essentially applies to those who are Amazon Prime members who now pay $7.99 for the Amazon Music Unlimited individual plan. That price will now be going up to $8.99. This means that Prime members on the annual subscription to Amazon Music Unlimited will now pay $89 per year opposed to $79 per year. This is always something to kind of keep your eyes out for, especially if you work in distribution. This is, of course, something you want to keep your eyes on. If you're an artist and if you're in the industry, it's something you want to, make sure you kind of understand. But especially if you work in distribution, this is something you need to be very on your toes about. This is how economics and markets work. If one company raises their prices, you kind of have to look at them and say why, and then you will usually see a couple people fall in line. Like, I'll use Netflix as an example. They're kind of the baseline price. So everyone in the digital like movie and film streaming realm looks to Spotify as to how to price their stuff. So Amazon is, I believe, it goes Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music in terms of who has the market share. So Amazon is number 2. So it's definitely one that people, the other streaming services are going to be looking at this, seeing either if they want to keep their prices the same, if they should raise their prices, if they want to lower them to even get an extra upper hand on Amazon. So it's just one of those things that have to do with market research and finding out what the industry is doing, right? We have Qobuz being the first streaming service to emphasize high-res audio, and the company has a passionate following among creative professionals, especially in the music business. Unlike many of its competitors, Qobuz is a company solely devoted to the digital music business, and that focus shows in its product. Founded in 2007 in France, the company has always had a digital music store to go along with its streaming services. It launched in the United States in 2019 and quickly gained a foothold in the audiophile market. If you don't know what an audiophile is, someone who likes music. In addition to its high-res music streaming, Qobuz makes greater use of available metadata to deliver more complete musician, producer, and songwriting credits than almost any other streaming service. So this is very reminiscent to, to me, it's kind of like a marriage of Tidal, Deezer, and Bandcamp all together, which I think is really cool. And it's something, whenever I find like a new DSP or a new streaming service to show you guys, I always want to tell you about it, because it's never a bad thing to have your music in more places for people to find and for more people to listen to. So if you use DistroKid, for example, is a great one. You'll be able to go into your account on any of your previous releases or any new releases and be able to add Qobuz as a place where you'll be distributing to, depending on what release you're talking about. Once again, if you want to learn more about any of these things, all of the stories, all of the larger stories are linked in my Instagram bio or in the description if you're on YouTube. I'm trying to get through this so quickly, if you can't tell, because I should have done this yesterday and I'm behind with everything, but I gotta do it. I gotta yeah. Lord have mercy. The big figure is $189 billion. That is the value of the global digital advertising market in 2021, according to the IAB's calculations. That is up 35% year on year, although bear in mind the fact that the COVID-19 effect in 2020. This is just about global digital advertising. I'm sorry, y'all. Clearly all over the place. I'm just going to move on to the next thing because I don't want to waste any time. Universal's merch company Bravado has recently appointed Epic Rights co-founder Jesper Paulson as the company's general manager. I just mentioned these guys a little bit ago. Deezer, going public in 2022, then potentially represents an opportunity for the French platform to realize value from the explosion of growth in the global music streaming market over the past decade. One individual who may be particularly keen on the realization of that value is Len Blavatnik. the founder of Access Industries. Access, the majority owner of Warner Music Group, increased its stake in Deezer in 2016 to take a controlling share in the music streaming company. Financial data from France Today suggests that Len Blavatnik, as a beneficial owner, personally controls 28.95% stake in Deezer. Other modern-day shareholders in Deezer include telco company Orange Plus, Saudi Arabia's Kingdom's holding company. Just interesting stuff. The possibility that they're going to go public. That means you are maybe able to buy a percentage of Deezer. Deezer is kind of the streaming platform that I champion and that I fight for because it is a user-centric model. Essentially, all that means, here's how I'll explain it. Spotify, Deezer. Spotify, they take everything from one big pot. They pay their people. They pay all the administration stuff. Same big pot. They pay every single artist. All 11 million uploaders, they pay from one big pot. Deezer, okay? I'm going to have to use different hands to show how this works. You have one subscriber, right, who pays $8 to $12 a month. So this one user, right, let's say they only listen to one artist the whole month of their subscription. Their $8 to $12 is going to that artist. So the best way to describe it is the subscribers' plan, their money, goes directly to who they've actually listened to throughout the month. That's why I love Deezer. Larger payouts, and I feel like it's more equitable. I just feel like that's way more fair to the artist, having their actual listeners essentially directly pay them based off of their subscription. Our next section we're going to get into is acquisitions, partnerships, and deals. So the estate of Mexican superstar Juan Gabriel inks a global deal with Virgin Music US Latin and extends a worldwide publishing deal with Universal Music Publishing Group. That's all we got. Next, we're going to move into Web3. Rapper Ice Cube is planning to use a non-fungible token, aka an NFT, to rebuild the way music is produced and distributed. Quote, "I've had to go through the system my whole career," the acclaimed musician and producer told crypto industry news outlet Decrypt on April 8th. Another quote, "What keeps me up at night is the things we don't get made, the good projects that we don't get financed." Ice Cube now sees NFTs, the unique and unforgeable cryptocurrency tokens that hold media like art, music, and video, as a way to do the same to the music industry. It's the ultimate fuck you to the mainstream programmers of the world, and it gives power back to the people, he said. This is something that I totally agree with. I reiterate in these podcasts that, like, if you don't know about Web3, if you don't know about NFTs, the metaverse, the gamification of the music industry, get into it now because you're going to be left in the dust if you don't. I'm very much on, like, the revolutionary side of the music industry. I'm kind of like, fuck the labels, fuck the corporations. I don't like the culture that, they have and the way that they treat art and the people who create art, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm very excited about Web3, about NFTs, and about the metaverse, because it really does, as Ice Cube says, it puts the money directly into the artist's pockets, as long as, they're not signed and they don't have within their contract that they get, the record label gets whatever percentage of the NFTs that they create, It really is an opportunity to fund your career in a way that is not so taxing in terms of production, in terms of energy, because you really can real quickly, hire a graphic designer or put something together yourself real quick, and sell an NFT, or you can do it, you're essentially selling the audio and your cover art as an NFT. It's a new technology, but what goes into it isn't something that hasn't been done before, or is impossible for your average artist to do. You know what I mean? We have the resources. It's just about educating ourselves so that we can put ourselves into these spaces and kind of reap the benefits of them. Next up, if you have not noticed, there's a revolution happening in hip-hop thanks to NFTs. Everyone from legends like Jay-Z and Eminem to new superstars like Lil Baby and Gunna has purchased NFTs, but hip-hop's involvement in the burgeoning NFT space extends beyond switching their Twitter avatars. In the last year, NFTs have grown from the latest internet trend to the blueprint of the future music industry. Just goes back to what I was saying before. If you haven't learned about them already, or if you don't understand the things that I'm talking about, get on it now. If you want to have a conversation with me about it, absolutely. If you know about it and you want to have a conversation about this, on live, once again, please hit me up. Let me know. I'd love to talk about it. But this it's Web3. It's the next thing. You know what I mean? So regardless of if you like it, if you understand it or not, you have to get on the train now, or like I said, you're going to be left in the dust. You're going to be left behind. Genies is one of the startups hoping to persuade millions of people to create and use virtual avatars. It's also very engaged with the music industry, having secured investments from artists including the Chainsmokers and A$AP Rocky back in 2018. And then in 2021, signing partnerships with Warner Music Group and Universal Music Group. Now Genies is raising money again, big bucks from big venture capitalist firms. It has raised over $150 million at a valuation of $1 billion. So that means they've raised $150 million. The company itself is valued at $1 billion. I'm sorry if I'm going too much into that, but if you don't know, now you know. Thus joining the ranks of tech unicorns. What that means, like if you're a venture capitalist company, what that means is it's like the one that pays for all the investments that you've done. The big buck bringer. That's what we'll call it. Silver Lake led the round with Bond, NEA, and Tamarack Global chipping in. It's a lot of money, especially considering Genius raised $65 million as recently as in May 2021. It should be good news for those who partner with major labels, although specific details still remain under wraps. I'm just trying to give you all the information, all these new companies for you guys to research, but also just if the labels are looking into it and they're investing money in it, that's kind of how you know this is the next step. So I'm gonna keep reiterating that. I don't care how annoying I get. I need you guys to, you need to know, and I need you to know, so that you don't fuck yourself over by not knowing. Moving on. Epic appears to be working on integrating a new creator marketplace onto its platform, with at least a partial focus on music. According to a job ad posted by the company and spotted by Music Business Worldwide, Epic is expanding its digital store capabilities into music via the recruiting of a product director, store music services. Epic says that the successful candidate will partner with the development and store team to drive product integration of a new marketplace into Epic's ecosystem and platform. So this goes into what I talked about a little bit with the gamification of the music industry and the gamification of brands, right? There's so much opportunity within these spaces. The best example I could give you guys is like Roblox and the concerts that they've been doing, the fact that they have digital stores where you can buy digital merch and stuff like that. Just think the expansion of that, and that there are going to be so many opportunities to do this within different games, within creating your own games into doing this. So definitely, if you haven't gotten on the track of like meeting animators, meeting game designers, web designers in general, like start befriending and networking with these people, because you are going to need them 100%. Moving on. Some stuff that has to do with live music. Alicia Keys is touring worldwide starting June 9th in Birmingham, Great Britain. We have Erykah Badu having 8 upcoming concerts throughout the United States, including Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Colorado, and even an appearance in Lewis, United Kingdom. The weekend will be hosting a world tour throughout the United States, Spain, Germany, the United Kingdom, Poland, France, and Switzerland in 2022. Diana Ross will also be touring, and she will be in Hollywood and also throughout the United Kingdom, once again, throughout 2022. We're coming up on the end, y'all. I'm doing good. We've only been here for like 24 minutes. God damn. I'm proud of myself. It's a short episode, though, so. All right. And the last thing in terms of live music, Earth, Wind & Fire have some upcoming concerts in New Mexico, Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota, and Iowa. Oh my God, I was about to say Iowa. Lord have mercy. Okay. Artist accomplishments. Ashanti was recently honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Before the Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter gave her speech, she was introduced by the close industry friends, oh my gosh, including rapper Ja Rule and actress Tashina Arnold. Holy shit. Who each delivered a couple speeches. This to me, I think, is like way long overdue, but I'm glad that it happened. Jay-Z, Diddy, Fat Joe, and others. Also, Lord have mercy. You guys are just going through this with me. I'm sorry. Honored DJ Khaled, another person who got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. And finally, we have Mary J. Blige set to receive this year's Icon Award at the Billboard Music Awards, which takes place Sunday, May 15th, though it already happened. The special event recognizes outstanding artists who have achieved excellence on the Billboard charts and have made an undeniable mark on music itself. Very true of her. And I'm happy for that bitch, bro. Once again, someone who very much deserves the flowers that she's getting. All right, some viewer opportunity for you guys. I talked about this a little bit. The Music Business Academy for Africa, they are calling for applications. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to the link in my bio, find more information about it, and you can possibly go to the conference on a scholarship. Then we have CD Baby's DIY Musician Conference will return on August 26th to the 28th in Austin, Texas. This is now its 7th edition, and the conference is designed as an educational and motivational gathering for independent musicians. I'm going to hone in on this a little bit, and then I'm going to get out of here because that's the last thing. Trade shows are really important for you guys to go to. I don't care if you're an artist, if you're a manager, if you're on the promotion side, if you do video work, if you are a graphic designer, if you're an engineer, if you work in the music industry or anything creative, you need to start going to trade shows. You need to start researching the ones that you feel would be the most beneficial to you in terms of the networking opportunities that you'll have in terms, and that goes into the people that you'll meet in terms of the audiences that are there. So where are they located? What can you do around them? And start budgeting for these things. 100%. These are the besides like places, like states. I mean, these are where things in the music industry happen, are at these conferences where you get updates on the industry, where there are industry folks walking around, people that are not only on your level but much higher up than you, that you have the opportunity to talk to and build with. So I just want to keep that in your guys' mind. If you're with a specific aggregator, meaning if you're with CD Baby, DistroKid, they probably have a conference either yearly or whatever what am I trying to say? However often that they have it. Me personally, I'll be at the Music Business Association conference coming up next month. There's plenty of them that you can go to. So you just have to do the research, budget for it, and be ready for it. But it's something that I wanted to kind of throw out to you guys because I haven't talked about it too much on the podcast so far. With that being said, you guys, today has been all over the place. I'm so sorry. It's continuing to be all over the place right now, but it's been a lot. There's been a lot of shit going on in my life. I wasn't able to get to it yesterday. And I've just been like super scatterbrained. I didn't even get to it last week. There was so much shit. But I appreciate you guys being here with me. Hopefully being as consistent as I try to be as a viewer as I am as a creator. But yeah, there's not much else to say, man. I just appreciate you guys watching with me. If there's anything you want me to talk about next week, especially if you are a musician and you have new music that you want me to talk about, let me know. If you have a topic that has to do with the music industry that you want to talk about me with on live, let me know. Any other inquiries, just let me know. I swear I'm nice. I have my literal phone number in my bio that you can hit me up on, or you can send me an email, or you can send me a DM. with that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys alone now. I'm gonna end the live stream on YouTube that is totally glitching out right now. And now